Hey everyone, Gene here from Mahalo.com. By default, Photoshop records your last 20 actions. With a basic understanding of the history panel, you're free to experiment within your images. Let me show you what I mean. Over here on the right, we're going to find the history panel, and if it's not there, like all of the other panels, you can simply come up to the window menu and make sure that history is checked off. So since it's already open, we don't need to do that. As you can see in the image that we're working with now, I've already made several changes to it, and I've been actually working on it for quite a while. Each one of these layers right here is an action that I performed previously on this image. So if we select any of these layers, it will take us back to a point before I took any of these following actions. And again, through here, we can also move back and forth and see a couple of the different changes that I've made. Also, if you recall from our menu tutorials, at this point we can hit Control Shift Z to move forward, Control Alt Z to move back, and on Macintosh it's Command Shift Z and Command Option Z. The next thing to take note of, there are a couple of icons down here at the bottom. The first one is going to create a new document based on whatever area of the history that we're at this moment. So if you particularly like this negative look here, and you want to save that, but you don't necessarily want to save it in your main composition, just click on the Create a New Document from Current State icon, and that'll take you right to a brand new image that will then be the starting point for any further changes that you want to make. The icon just to the right of the Create a New Document is Create a New Snapshot. Whenever you open an image, Photoshop creates a snapshot right away so that you can always go back to the original image that you opened. What Create Snapshot does is basically the same exact thing as Create Document, but it leaves it in the document that we're working in. So again, if we go back to one of these actions that we are particularly fond of, we don't want to lose it in making a bunch more actions. We can just go right back here to the Take a Snapshot, and that'll save this particular time in the history so that later on you can come back to it. But in the meantime, you can keep working. And remember, we can always go back to the original image just by clicking the first snapshot up in the snapshot section. There's also another feature that I'd like to point out right here. This brush right here next to the original snapshot basically just signifies that when Photoshop is keeping track of our actions, that this is going to be the source for the history brush, which is another tool that Justin discussed earlier. And again, it's beyond the scope of this tutorial, but at any point here, whichever one of these options you select, this is what you're going to be painting with. You can do that with snapshots as well. If you go up here to the menu, you're going to be able to do all of these things that we just talked about, but with a single click instead of actually working inside the panel. So this is pretty much just for people who prefer menus. That's all for now. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe below, and send any questions you have to requests@mahalo.com. Thanks for watching.